Yes.
So, good morning, all. So, as mentioned, today we are going to discuss about the challenges that we face as school counselors and how can we look at it in a solution focused way to find solutions for us. So there are some tough situations which I have encountered, which I would like to share with you guys. And at the same time, there could be individual experiences which differs from person to person. So I'm just wanting to interact with you all so that it's like a kind of exchange of information, and I might come to know certain things maybe which is maybe new to me also. So in my practice from 2010, I have worked in a lot of schools and colleges. Through NGOs, we used to visit a lot of schools, colleges, and that's how it was. And that gave me that experience. And there were times where I was under supervision of my seniors, which helped me in areas where generally we get stuck. And later on, other than the NGO, I've worked as a full-time counselor, school counselor, college counselor as well. I tried different genres because, like, I want to learn how to apply it in every field before you start your own private practice, because that was my long standing goal. Like, you have something of yours and still you go and meet people as a consultant and you interact with a lot of students and other. I've worked in the corporates as well. Recently, like, upgrading myself on legal counseling as well. So I thought of sharing few things with you, like when we look into the challenges. One challenge which I've been facing quite frequently is there was this kind of trend in a particular period where children were into self harm. So I think it just spreads on like a chain sometimes. But I just want to talk about one independent case where the particular child who was 14 years old was into self harm. And usually anyone below the age of 18, when they are going through something which needs to be communicated to the primary caregiver. It can be anything, any sort of abuse that they faced, or any suicidal thoughts they have. Such things need to be communicated to their parents, especially like they are the primary caregivers. So that way, so in this case, the thing is that generally, children who do this very rarely come forward to take up counseling. But in certain cases, when the school provides the space for children to directly come and meet the counselor, it's generally the friends who come along with them or come and inform us that a child is exhibiting this kind of behavior and she's seen the cuts on the hand. And, ma'am, can you please call her and talk to her, kind of thing. So then like we call them, we try to establish a rapport, and then, like, to bring it to the initial disclosure stage and in-depth exploration, all this becomes a very big challenge. So that is fine. I think the working part with them is fine, but what is the challenge which I saw was, like, children, they come and speak in that confidential space because they trust you, and we say that we're not going to let things outside. They know that the counselor will maintain confidentiality, and that's why they're coming and talking to us, and they reveal truths about what they did. But They are not okay of us communicating with the parents. And sometimes a very uh, what I would say is something which is very new is that parents don't even know, or parents have not even seen the cut marks in your hand. They come to know what has happened to the child only through the school. Someone in the school is calling you, the counselor is calling you. She is a third party, your own daughter who every day is staying in your house and she's coming to school from your house. You don't even know what is happening in her life until we call and inform you. So that's one thing. So the challenge here is that they don't like us informing the parents. So after that, the cooperation becomes very less when you reveal it to the parent. So later on, we found that this particular girl did so. When I called and spoke to the parent, she was they were communicating that things have always been like this at home, but why suddenly now she should cut her hand? Later on, I come to know through the friends that she had proposed a guy, and a guy had rejected her proposal, and because of which she didn't want to disclose that, and she was not the one who initiated to come and meet me. It was her friends. Because of her friends she had come, and then they think that it is a breach of confidentiality, even when it is a kind of sexual abuse. They think that we have a breach of confidentiality, because it's surprisingly it was a case of a child from a policeman's family was facing a kind of abuse from a relative. But she was very scared to go and talk to her father. But then I have that responsibility as a counselor to inform. Otherwise, like that is wrong of my role. My role is, this is what I'm supposed to do when someone comes and reveals certain things to me. So that's the basic responsibility. If something is happening within the school, I should take it to the management immediately. If something is happening in the personal family life outside the school of the child, I must inform the parent. It's my responsibility. So I think this part I had to educate them about. So you're saying so, but you have to understand that in the process of counseling, there are times when I had to like break the confidentiality when it is going to harm you, because you are a child, you are someone below the age of 18. So it's my responsibility to do that, and that is what I'm doing. So I don't reveal everything, but only certain things which might harm you is something which I can educate them about. So after this kind of an education, there are some children who will participate. But like in a particular school where I was working, there was one child who started sexting, having a sex chat on social media. And there is this kind of scam where they're getting them into sex work and calling them for a just a stay in the outskirts, and then they pick up and they drop. So this kind of a thing was happening in a particular child's life, um, where the mother also was working in the same institution. Then like I she revealed this in the fourth session or fifth session that she was doing this, because like mainly everything on the surface comes, and later on when we go to the roots, it is that this girl has been earning quite a lot of money. Then I was asking her, what do you do with that money? From 50,000 to 1 lakh, there are college students who picked her up, and then they used her, and she was like sent back, and her she was quite young, 15 years or 16 must be. I'm talking about cases which I met quite long. So at that time, like she was totally annoyed that I broke the confidentiality by telling this to her mother. And after that, so this was a work which I was going through an NGO. So they make us they make transfers every year. There were a group of counselors working for an NGO. So we go 2 days to this particular institution, 2 days to the other institution. It was like that. So I was shifted to another visit to a corporate. So there was somebody else in my place. Then the next academic year. So depending upon the need, they make these changes. So that new counselor whom she was meeting up, she had conveyed. We know that because we sit for weekly supervisions. She had conveyed that there was a previous counselor, and she did this to me. I felt very bad about it, and after that, now I'm not interested to attend counseling. Is something that she conveyed to her. So this is a challenge, no? This is like I did what I'm supposed to do, but the challenge is that I'm not able to make that particular child understand what it was. And moreover, the mother did not know about that because she's a working person, and when this girl is at home and mother is in office, father is she's a single parent, uh, and so when she comes to work, she does this and she's not aware of it. When I asked her, what did you do with all the money? She said that I bought gifts for my boyfriend. And I really don't know what the kind of thing, no? We have to empower the child, educate the child about physical safety, all that I did. And after which, this was communicated to the mother, and then this happens. So this is a challenge, and I think only educating them on the responsibilities of what I am supposed to do as an adult, that is, the school counselor is supposed to do as an adult, needs to be communicated to the child. If the child is able to accept that, and I think that would be nice. And one thing is maintain that confidentiality. The parent you can say, but not anyone else in the school, the teachers or fellow classmates or the principal or whoever is does not need to know about this unless it is something which is happening within the school, or it is in some way affecting the school. And one big challenge which I have faced in some schools are, don't go to the school counselor. I myself will help you out. Some teachers tell this because I think, so I was pretty sure in a particular case that the teacher had done something which was not okay for the girl, and she insulted that particular child in front of the classroom, the whole classroom, while others were watching, saying that I heard information from other fellow classmates of you that you are talking to a particular boy on social media, who is also present in the same class. So I want to know whether you're in love with him or not. You have to confess in front of the class, and you have to say that you're not going to repeat this again. She was telling this, and this girlfriend felt very insulted, and she did not just stop with that. She called the parent, and she also informed that your daughter is wearing eyeliner. She is trying to have fringes on her hair. All this maybe she's doing to attract boys. So you need to take care of her discipline. They call this as discipline. Girls not talking to boys or boys not talking to girls is considered as discipline by teachers or coordinators or principals who are outdated. So for this, when that she generally, the procedure in that particular institution was that they have to take permission from the coordinator and then meet the counselor. So this teacher became very cautious that she would go and reveal this to me, and she was worried if I was working in close connection with the person in the management to whom information wanted to has to be conveyed, and the person was my reporting authority. So in that case, she was very scared that maybe she would come to know about it or whatever. No, that information will go out. No? So, but this girl took permission and she came and she met me. She narrated the whole incident to me. So I think in these kind of cases, I think just by listening the words to this teacher, this parent went home and she hit the girl, and from then she stopped her, restricted her from wearing Western clothes or like dressing herself up the way she wants to. At that particular age, they have their own interests and they want to look good. That's very natural, and I think when the teacher has said this, she should have asked. I think what she should have asked the teacher is, did she do anything wrong in school? Did she exhibit any bad behavior in school? See, anyone can fall in love with anyone. I'm not supporting kids falling in love. I'm definitely not doing that. But it's a very natural physiological process that you get attracted to someone. So whether somebody is attracted to someone is not a problem unless it is exhibited in the form of some kind of behavior in the classroom. They're misbehaving with each other, touching each other, or like we see, no, like I was very happy to see to I went to the Marina Beach when as a kid when I used to go there. We used to see a lot of couple doing a lot of things which children are not supposed to see, all the adult stuff that they do. There's a lot of police protection and nobody does did such things. There was no space or scope, and there was a lot of families with children. They were indulging in play, and it was quite a pleasant thing, and I was happy that the we have reformed. Our society is reforming, and somewhere law and order is helping us. So that way, if something like that happened in the school, then you question them. If they did not focus on what you were doing and they were juggling with some other things, then you question them. But something happens, someone talks to someone on social media, I don't think the parent should be answering to the teacher in regard to that. So that is one thing that the parent will immediately like be hitting your child, saying that just by saying that avan kuda pesina iva vandu avana paatha. So this kind of thing. So there is one responsibility. I mean, there is a responsibility of the student counselor to organize group sessions for teachers as well as parents on handling adolescents or handling children. How do you establish a good rapport with your teenager? Now, these kind of sessions, if they are able to facilitate, it would be a big solution to these kind of problems. At least a small change, because some people are very rigid and they are still in the uh, old thoughts, school of old thoughts, and like it's very difficult to change a few people. But the youngsters, the people who of this generation, and I think who are updated of worldwide what is happening, then they won't take such trivial things. And you're wasting time. You're there in the classroom for taking class, for helping children, for educating them. You waste the time of conducting the class, and you are talking about something which is not helpful to anybody. What purpose it serve the teacher other than the gossip which she made in the staff room and such things, no? So I think there we have an important role to play. And what I did in this particular scenario was I didn't call the teacher and talk to her directly, because I definitely felt that she being in the institution for a very longer time and taking her age into consideration, she would feel bad if I convey this to her. So I just put a word to the coordinator that such and such a thing has happened, ma'am. So, like, can you please put a word to this particular teacher that Maybe she can, if she wants to talk something, maybe she can call in person and talk, and not in front of the classroom, because the child feels humiliated. And I also cross verified if this incident happened in class before I spoke to the teacher. So that's one thing. And sometimes when the principal is outdated, you don't know what I mean, the principal doesn't know what the process of counseling at all is. I was in a school where a teacher just got promoted as the principal, and she has no idea about what counseling is. Now that the school the management took a decision to have a full-time school counselor, they had like taken a person earlier. First, not me, they had taken a person, but that person, what she used to do is, she used to teach phonics and other things in the free period. Otherwise, they used to make us sit in the nurse station, and at times when someone is creating any kind of trouble or behavioral issues in classroom, or academically when they are not doing well, they may refer one or two once in a while. All the other times, she used to be sitting idle in the nurse station, is what is the information which I received. Then, when I went in, I asked for the case files of what the previous counselor has been seeing, but they told me that there are no case files. They gave me a book. In that book, she has just written just one, two names. That's all. I don't know. She didn't maintain a record at all. So, in this particular NGO where I was talking about, there are 6 to 7 counselors like me working for them, and we used to, in whichever institution we work, we maintained a case file. So when we are out of that school, also when somebody else takes charge, they will refer to that case file. Case files are very important. Suddenly I leave a job in a particular school as a school counselor. When they take in somebody else, they should know how many times I have seen a particular student, what are the issues, every session what did I deal with, and what are certain whatever work they've done, we attach it in the file. Me being an expressive arts therapist, when it comes to very young children, I used to use mostly this kind of stories and some artwork, craft work, clay models, such things and all, no? So like whatever I can record, put it into the file. All that I've always been doing, and that is very important. And when you're taking someone in for counseling, there's an intake form in which you take the basic details of the child. And when at a point I feel that the child came to me for a particular reason, and that reason is sorted now, and like that problem is sorted now, and the child is into normal functioning, and the problem no more exists. So then there's a termination sheet in which we mention why we are no more seeing this particular child. And when it is generally, when in colleges we take a signature, when the corporates we take a signature, and asking them to write some feedback about how they felt during this duration of maybe 3 months or 6 months in which they were into the process of counseling, what developments they could see within themselves as and the personality, whatever, and whether their problem was sorted. Certain challenges they can be facing, which was not sorted, and they did not know the alternate solution. In such cases, we maintain different kinds of methodologies in every case, and it's more a kind of client centered approach that I use. Based on the needs of the client, we work accordingly. And yeah, so when the principle is outdated, it's very very difficult, because the principal did not know the previous counselor, because the previous counselor was this way. When I came in, when I was asking for case files and other things, when I was making it, and when I was looking to meet children, sometimes not sometimes overwork gives you stress, sometimes underwork also gives you stress. So too much of workload in a institution where I was working previously, And this particular institution, there's no work at all. You just come all the way. I used to travel 9 kilometers from my place and come to this particular institution. And I used to be sitting simply for 4 to 5 hours, and then I'll get back. Any new initiative you bring in, she will not acknowledge that. And so thereby I think it's a good job under a bad boss kind of thing. If possible, we can just give an introduction of what is the process of counseling. So she used to tell me that உங்களுக்கு தெரியாது, when you're like counseling people, I mean students, the parents will question me. She was talking such things. Then I had to like tell her that, ma'am, like there's a government order that every school should have a counselor. And after in Tamil Nadu, after Mr. Anbil Mahesh Poyamari, the minister had taken in charge, he had brought some new schemes, especially taking into consideration the mental health aspect of students because of the continuous suicidal deaths of students, which was happening in a particular period. So I think when they hear about this news, it's again a trigger for them. For example, when someone cuts their hand, I want to try how that is. So I do it. அது ஒரு trend மாதிரி they convert it. That was something which is because they are all children, they have this kind of attitude. So when I call and ask, why are you doing this? What is your problem? Said that, ma'am, I just wanted to try how it is going to be. Because the other girl is doing, I also wanted to try and see. See, there are so many things which you can model others, not such things. She has some trouble. She needs help, so I'm there to help her. You don't have to do such things and harm yourself. Then I'll have to call your parent the next time I come to know that you're doing such things on purpose. So this is something like I have to like tell them strictly, so that like they don't indulge in these kind of things, because it's no way going to help. And again, the suicide news, when they hear, the children, I think it tempts the other child to also indulge in that kind of behavior. If I get low marks in 12th standard, immediately suicide. When I'm deceived by a boy, immediately suicide. Everyone has a boyfriend, I don't have a boyfriend, I indulge in self-harm. So these kind of cases are something which we need to take utmost care and work with. And if at all an adolescent is coming and telling you in a school that I'm in love with someone, when they are 15 plus, such things have happened. So I cannot again behave like a parent or a teacher by scolding her or telling the child not to do such things. So my what I used to do is, I used to tell the child and educate the child. First, I need to like educate the child by saying that you are someone below 18, and it is very important for you to take care of your body and safety. Physically, you need to like keep yourself safe, and do not allow anyone to unnecessarily touch you, whether it is a male or a female. Don't allow anyone to touch your body, in due respect to your body. And you talk to that person. I will not say you don't do that. When you keep on say them, like instruct them not to do certain things, they will purposefully do that. And that is one characteristic of teenagers, which even I have done. I remember, like when purposefully, like that, there arises a curiosity when someone says girls don't talk to boys, boys don't talk to girls. So that is the time when they start, why don't I talk, why not I talk? The more you restrict, it becomes more. But when you just let it just be the way it is, by just providing that basic regulation and some rules of what is the line, no. And I used to educate them on one more thing, that it is very important. See, it is very natural for you to go through these kind of changes, because physiologically you're also undergoing a lot of changes, hormonal changes, the appearance of the secondary sexual characteristics, and all that. No, So that makes you feel that attraction towards the other person. I understand that, but this is the period where you're also constructing your careers, which is very, very important. You're in a place where you have to make career choices, career decisions, and you have to perform well in order for you to be fine, and maintain a kind of friendship with this person. But don't get into a commitment, is a guidance which I used to get. Don't get into a commitment. You can talk to the person, you can share, you can discuss, you can talk about the subjects, you can talk about what they're doing, and like what the extracurricular participation they're giving, and you can share what you want to share, or in only purely let it be on the basis of friendship. Do not give any commitment to the person. Keep yourself physically safe, and do not travel anywhere outside without the consent of your parents. I'm going there, I'm going here, I'm going to ECR, or if it is like Coimbatore, I'm going to this particular theme park or whatever. No, don't do such things without informing your parents, is something which I strictly tell them. But I do, because I tell them this way, the next time they'll come and tell me that this boy hurt me, or this girl whom I told you that I'm interested in is hurting me, and I'm not able to focus on studies because of it. Such things they come and tell you. But such things I don't think, unless it is something involving physical relationship with both, that doesn't need to be taken to the notice of the parents. So that's one thing. And some of the schools think that counselors are meant for children who don't study well. 20 plus years back, when I was in school, we had a school counselor, but most of us did not know what was her role, and we thought that going to a counselor was a punishment. A counselor is meant for children who don't study well. If someone fails in exams and gets low marks, they will go for counseling. This is the impression which the school gave us, because children who don't study well were sent to the counselor. So we thought that it is meant for children who don't study well and it's a punishment. And it is so like bothering me when the same kind of mindset still exists in certain institutions, not every institution. The very updated institutions exist in Coimbatore as well as in Chennai. So I've been practicing in I have my office in both the places. I'm someone from Chennai who's married to someone in Coimbatore. So I've been residing at Coimbatore for quite some time now. I'm at Chennai because my husband is into transfers and other things. So the thing is that what I was trying to tell you is there are schools which can think very fast forward. One particular institution where I work with, the principal is so much concerned about children out of genuine interest, which I've seen, and it's a very appreciable quality, which is very rare in people nowadays. So she used to consider that as very important. The mental health aspect was considered very important by this particular principal, and she used to call me, and every week we used to have meetings on what is like happening and what are certain updations they need to make from the side of the teachers, so that the safety and mental health of every child is ensured. So those kind of environments do exist. At the same time, like what I was talking to you about, certain schools who still believe that it is for children who don't study well. And that is because why that particular person is thinking that way is because the person is not updated, very outdated and very old mindset, which is not helpful for students. So finally, when you restrict a student counselor from executing their responsibilities, the injustice is to the students, and they don't allow students to come in person. I mean, in person in the sense, on their own they cannot make a choice to come. Only when they refer they can come. So I think that is a very wrong decision which a school can make, because everyone needs that liberty to go and meet a student counselor if they want to meet when they're into stress. And this particular school where I was talking to you about the outdated principle and teachers being in their old school of books and all that, there were almost two suicides in 5 to 6 years. Yeah, and then usage of substance. One particular school which is a very affluent school. We like got that information. I mean, I got the information from the fellow classmates that this boy was carrying a hookah vaporizing machine in his bag. Then we had to like, I had to like inform the management because it's something to do with the school. And later on we seized that I mean that the machine from the boy's bag, school bag. And he was using it in the washroom, and he was encouraging other friends to use it, so on. So in such cases it can be something of a legal problem. You're not supposed to do that. We don't know who the drug peddlers are, or we don't know what it is. And then like we have to then the management called the parent and spoke to them. And it happened almost towards the end of the academic year. The school terminated the boy and said that you please put him elsewhere. We are not taking him or keeping him anymore, because we wouldn't stand other children getting spoiled by such things. And it's going to spoil our reputation, and it is something which is illegal that your child is doing. And you not being aware of it is something which is very alarming to us, is what they conveyed. And the boy was sent out. So as a student counselor, I have a responsibility to give referral to a rehab center. We don't know what is the frequency of usage. So when he's bringing it to school, we don't know how much of content the boy is using and what kind of substance the boy is using. So in that case, it's something like to be medical examined and to like know to do what next in order to help him, because he's still a child who needs help. So backlash can happen to students. So some, yeah, I was working in a government school for quite a while, but the principal was very sweet, and like anything you take it to her notice is worked on immediately, sorted out immediately. So certain teachers, when they are like misbehaving with children, insulting, or like on basis of marks, or throwing the mark sheet on the face of a child if they are getting low marks, such things, they feel very insulted, and they come and tell me. Then I tell like I convey to the principal that some children are feeling hurt because of this particular person. So it would be nice if you can like talk to the person, or let me talk to her. Was something which I had to take to her notice. Then what happened was, so the principal had spoken to the teachers all together in a meeting about certain things which are happening and which they are not supposed to do to the students. Later on, what happened was they know which student would have conveyed what based on what she conveyed. Though she did not reveal any names of students, from the content which the principal delivered to the teachers, they could figure out, they know what mistakes they did, right? And to whom they did. So, based on that, they had like judged that. This person has done this girl has done this, or this boy has done this. And then like what happened was, there's a possibility that they take revenge on those students by cutting down marks or giving them punishments, so on. And it's also very important for us to educate teachers to say that the corporal punishments no more exist. They cannot ask to go out or beat someone or ask someone to kneel down, um, go and stand in the sun or something like that. No, these kind of punishments are no more exist. They cannot do this. And statements like ஒரு அறை விட்டேன் அப்படின்னா 32 பல்லும் கீழே விழுந்துரும் kind of thing, no? These are all offensive statements which you cannot use in a classroom system. And what else? Yeah, these are certain things which I can think of. And what are certain things that you want to share about from your experience, or you found something difficult and you did not still get a solution as a student counselor or school counselor or whatever? No, you can just talk about it. Anyone, the floor is yours. Anyone can talk, or any doubts you have, you can ask. Let me also convey to you that there's a program on school, college, corporate, and legal counseling which I'm conducting from the July. It's a kind of coaching which helps you to put yourself on employment, or if you're already on employment, it can be an upgrade for you to learn them. If you're really interested in knowing about you, you can WhatsApp me. I'll provide you the necessary information about the program. It starts in July, August, September, 3 months program. We'll have classes thrice a week, and we have a morning slot as well as an evening slot, and it will be only 2 hours in a day. So, further information, you can get in touch with me. Can I hear from some of you about your experiences?
Miss Swati, good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
Mrs. Rachna Mitra,
Hello, ma'am.
and I was just listening to you delivering. So I just wanted to add a few things if you don't mind. This is a school counselors, and their issues are, the problems that they face are so common. So I am in the northern part of the country. I'm based out of Noida, and I've been as a school counselor. I've been functioning since 2009, before which I was a lecturer in one of the colleges. So, just elaborating on a few things you said, there is a very common problem which school counselors have is a rift from the teachers, a distance from the teachers, not being able to work collectively with the teachers. Okay. So I'll just give you an example of how, what works for me. So it might work for somebody else also. So when you're going into a new school, and if you have the opportunity of introducing yourself collectively to to the teachers, or you may do that individually in going to the staff rooms or whatever, it the teachers are always, oh, what does she think of herself? She is a counselor. What is she going to do that we can't do? So if we go with an approach of no, 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 I know more than you, and no, 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 I'm an expert in this field, okay, we'll always be at loggerheads with them. So it's a great idea. In the couple of schools that I have worked, I've always gone up to the teachers and said, yeah, I'm the new counselor, introduced myself and said that, you can survive in school without me, but I cannot survive in school without you. You are going to be my pillars of my strength and pillars of information, and there is so much help that I will be seeking from you because you know the children best. Okay, so I'll be coming back to you. So please, you have so much of experience behind you, or you interacting with the children. So somehow get them towards you. Okay. So don't ever go with this thing that okay, fine, I'm going to be here and there, and interact with them. Walk up and down the corridors of your school, make your face very familiar with the teachers, with the students. They know that, and have a nice expression on your face so that they know that there's some, oh, this is the nice person going, I can approach it. The children are hesitant, like you had said. Also, it's very important to go into each classroom. and discuss with the classes what does a counselor do, you know, so that I had a writing on my room's door. It said, "Smart people seek help." And I emphasized on it. It is the smart people who are going to work in their favor. So get it around that way. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you is regarding this confidentiality thing. You were saying that the students, not somehow they don't want their parents to know. So if I put my agenda first, I have to tell your parents because I am responsible or because I have to, I'm a counselor and take answer to. Sometimes that doesn't work well with them. So it's better to say that you are a very precious person. You are such a good child and thing. And I'm sure your parents and I and everybody in school wants the best for you. And that is the reason for the best for you, so that everything works out together. You're still a child. You may not be able to handle everything in your own. We want all sorts of support for you. And that is why we want to bring your parents into the picture, and helping them understand what is the gravity of your situation, what you're facing, is where I'm going to be helpful. I'm going to assist you and all that. That way, I find the children a little more opened about discussing their issue with their parents and all, because this is the problem that we do face. Another thing is that when they are into relationships and all, and they come and say, "I love you," if you're going to start telling them that, "No, this is not the age," or, "No, you don't do that," again, they'll close up. So I have found it to be helpful. Again, it's just my experience. Maybe it works with you all also. Uh, the moment they tell you this, what is the expression on your face and how are you taking it and what is the reward? That makes a huge impression on the child. So if you're going to say, "Oh, you're in love," or give a stern expression or a very blank expression. So, oh, that's a beautiful emotion to have. Okay, and so much better than hatred and angst and anger. It's a beautiful emotion. Okay, however, then you go on to the how are you exhibiting? What are you exhibiting? What do you think you should be careful about and what you should not be careful about? What are the problems that you think you will face? What is your current role in life? What is most important for you? And believe me, most of them come up with that I have to study and I have to make a career. And from there, then you can add on whatever things that you have to tell them. That this, yeah, you're absolutely correct. The Pygmalion effect. You tell a child you're brilliant, you tell a child you're nice, and the child feels good and starts behaving in that manner. So I again found it very effective to say, "I know you're a very responsible child. You will be able to do all these things, and I'm sure you're going to. But if there is any help that you need, you do come back to me and do take care of yourself. You're a very precious human being." This so that the child doesn't feel that the child is being told to do this and that. It seems to the child that all these ideas came out of my mind only. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Swati, thank you so much for allowing me to say this, but
I,
it's all this. Yeah, thank you.
I have a few things to tell you. So,
Mm-hmm,
as you rightly mentioned, going around the classroom, mentioning a rapport with the teachers and like the
mm-hmm,
students as well, talking to them
mm-hmm,
in the free
mm-hmm.
periods, all this is something which I've always taken initiative for. And
I'm sure. Right.
it's again, it depends upon the principal who lets you
It does.
to go around or not.
Correct.
Without, when we are working under someone, there are certain things which we need to oblige, but not everybody does that. There are schools which are very liberal, they give you space, and there was an exclusive period for career counseling in certain schools. But I also had these bad experiences where we were not led to the teacher friendly schools. There are many teacher friendly schools who refer children to counseling, but I'm talking about that very few institutions which do not let you to mingle with children. They restrict you from, I have, it's something which I experience, they restrict you from going to classrooms, going to the staff rooms. They prefer you to just be employed as a counselor and just sit in your room. So that,
Absolutely. Those are
and
the
as I
those are
mentioned,
the
that
things.
is the attitude of people who are not updated, or they have their own agendas of why they are doing that. We don't know. Because I heard from students that the same principal, when a girl cut her hand, she did not send it to me. She closed the doors in her room and she had asked that girl, "Why are you cutting your hand? Why don't you cut your face?" Is the statement which she told me. So, what can you expect more from this kind of a principal? No? So, this I came to know when that girl came and told me this.
Absolutely, you're right. There are kinds and there are kinds. But in case, just try when we are going into school, and I'm assuming that many of your audience is young also, because it happens. And when you go into school, then you quickly try to do everything. So you have to build it up. Like I have, what you are saying, I have been in one of the Kendra Vidyalayas where the principal, I had to tell her every child that I'm meeting, every parent also, she didn't allow me to call in the beginning. So I had to take it really slowly. First, build her trust. It's her school. I mean, she is the overall head. I can understand her, that who is this? She's suddenly come into the school, this young lady, at that time I was very young. This young lady just comes up and wants to meet parents. She won't allow me, that I have to build that trust with her. So going slow sometimes, and of course, you're very right. There are kinds and there are kinds, uh, uh, of people and principals. You're very right.
So
So
there's
it
one
is
more
just from my
challenge that some
experience.
schools don't let us meet the parents. உங்களுக்கு அவங்கள பத்தி தெரியாது
Yes.
பிரச்சனை
Yeah.
பண்ணிடுவாங்க. That kind of thing they used to say. And
Hmm.
one more thing is I
Hmm.
was only giving you the outline of this is what I just found it due to the limited time. So but all that you say, that your the kind of affirmations, like affirmations you give to the child and encourage them to give self affirmations or questioning them, leading them, structuring the process before the session, to set an agenda, to make them feel comfortable. So all these things I do. It's not that I
I'm
don't
sure.
do, but I'm just
I'm sure.
giving you only the gist because of the lack of time. When it comes to in-depth exploration and when we are working together in commitment to action, there are a lot of things where we complement each other, and there's a very sweet kind of communicative language which we use to especially when it comes to children. That is the bond we rapport we create with them, and the professional bond you have with them, and that's how they start coming to you. So I respect your points. I take into consideration, and I think whatever discussion we made now would be useful to many of them present here. Thank you, ma'am. Can I hear from anyone else?
Mm. Hi, ma'am. This is Amla. Thank you for the wonderful session, Swati, ma'am. I have one query. In Tamil Nadu, especially, we have the habit that teachers hit children for the purpose of good. So, for insisting them to study well, or hitting is very common. But now that because of the rules, it has reduced. But still, they do, and they give the reason it's for the betterment of the children. So, what is your point on this?
No, it is wrong, madam. I remember during my period of in school, when we were in third standard, we had a Hindi teacher who used to beat children in the scale. Then the parent took it to the notice of the principal. She was dismissed. So this, I think, as a law, it is a kind of physical abuse which you're doing to a child, where you can, when it is reported, it will be taken as an offense. So we are not supposed to do that. It is the responsibility of the management to provide the necessary instructions to the teachers to not indulge in this kind of behavior. It is prohibited.
Okay.
So it's not.
One.
It is that old pedagogical approaches, which they felt that when you beat children and raise them up, they will grow into healthy people. I mean, healthy or functional, more functional, or they'll perform better, they'll study well. It was a kind of myth, but that could like lead to vengeance and unhealthy. They can be unhealthy adults, and kind of the confidence level can be maybe can be less, where they can feel as an insult after a certain age. When you're hitting them, that anger will still be there.
So the school where my children go, I we had animation program, and I heard from a counselor saying like children who get beatings from the teachers will not get beatings from the police in their future.
No,
It,
it's a
that
very wrong state.
statement. So, like many parents agree to that, many teachers also agree to that, saying that if they are disciplined by the teachers, if they get beatings from the teachers, they are sure that they will not get beatings from any policeman or for any undisciplinary activities in the future.
So, do you believe in that?
I mean, I don't generally, I can't say if it is right or wrong. Maybe I just want to know how it goes.
So, I'm telling you that it is wrong.
Okay. And one more point. We talked about children falling in love at the age of like ninth, 10th. We see children, children from 5th standard to 6th standard. When girls, they attain their puberty, they have their age spurts. In the bathrooms, they write like, I love this boy, I want him to be my husband. So, how do we approach such age group children?
Ma'am, by putting their interest into other activities, for example, something like sports or something else that they're very good at. So when you divert their interest, when you divert their interest into something else, which in a constructive way, they might be using that the sexual energy in that way is something which I have observed. Yeah, I had a boy
Hmm.
who was into kind of watching porn when he was in eighth standard, and he was
Hmm.
referred to me for counseling. And then, like the kind of work which I did with the boy was trying to divert him on different kind of activities. I spoke to his interest was football. I spoke to the coach, saying that I didn't reveal what was his problem, but I just said that he's getting distracted from studies. Why don't you like take him in and put him into training? And so he was into it. He got very busy, and he got into matches. And whenever I come to their class for, I used to go to their class for career counseling. There's a period for career counseling in that particular school. So whenever I go, I made him the class leader. So even before I go, he'll be very and he'll be ready for the class. He will write the period name, and then he will bring the materials for me. I used to distribute some sheets to students to do some uh, being an expressive art therapist, some art activities in relation to whatever agenda I have for that particular class. So all the distributing, arranging for the papers, all that work he used to be do for me. And that way, from that, he totally like got diverted into something else, and he started becoming more constructive.
Okay.
So that way,
So,
to divert their energies into something constructive can be helpful. And every act of constructive work that they're doing, if we are able to give them appreciation, that would help more, I feel. To give a handshake to a child or just give them a pat makes a very big difference for the child.
okay, ma'am. That makes sense. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else wants to speak? You want to give your thoughts, share your ideas? All right. So if you have any queries, you can WhatsApp me. So thank you for your patience, for listening to me for almost an hour. Thank you to all my participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful session.